It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes at gatewayfilmcenter.org.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by legendary John DeSando. Listen to the shows and share reviews online at WCBE.org.
I am John DeSando.
And I'm Crystal Davis.
And this is It's Movie Time. Crystal, Despicable 1, Despicable 2, now Despicable 3. Is this thing going to be worthwhile to watch at all after 3 iterations?
You know, I thought it was. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie, but I'm such a kid at heart. I think that it entertained me. I know that some critics were a little harsher. Perhaps I'm going to be today, but I think that it was definitely a good movie for families to go check out.
What's a little bit different about this one? Where do you get some of that tension in this one? What makes it worthwhile?
I think I did enjoy the dynamic with Gru. He finds his newly discovered brother and who wants to be a villain, and of course Gru is trying not to be a villain anymore. So that dynamic there is very interesting. I know that there's been a little bit of talk about, some people felt though that this was like a sequel, setting it up for the sequel instead of really developing the plot to the point where it should be. Some people were saying that.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Looking at 4, my gosh. But I'm with you. The new dynamic is Gru, who is, one of the world's famous villains turned good guy by family. And that's part of the sappy part of this, of course, is that family makes him into a really good guy and a super agent, kind of James Bond type. Mm-hmm. And then his brother comes, who's very successful, and but claiming that genetically they need to have one more heist, which I kind of loved. And so he seduces his brother to do one more heist.
Yes.
And I think that's an interesting dynamic. I'll tell you one place, and I don't know if you remember this, Crystal, the place where they change identities.
Yes.
I really found that confusing and flat.
Yes. They could have done more with that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I just, that's one of the parts of that film that doesn't get me. Now, I'll tell you, do you have any disappointing parts of that film?
I do think that, I know it's a kid's movie for the most part, but right. I do think that the bubblegum part was a bit overplayed.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yes, there was a villain, the true villain of the movie, Balthazar Brat.
Right,
yes,
thank you.
He was a child star, a jaded child star turned villain, and he had bubblegum as a weapon.
Yes.
So I thought that was a brilliant choice, but I think it was a bit overdone.
No, it's funny because when you see how they work that bubblegum, it's really ingenious. And then after a while, it doesn't really work that well.
That's true.
My disappointing part is that I believe a cornerstone now is not Grumpy Gru, but the Minions.
Yes.
And I sense that the Minions were put off to the side this time.
Yes, I agree with you. It was definitely a subplot there with the Minions, and it was almost like they were trying to figure out how to fit them into the movie.
Oh, yeah. There is a really fun Busby Berkeley kind of pageant that they do, I think, in prison, when they sing a song from the Pirates of Penzance, and they are really good. When they
Yes.
hit them and they feature them, they're very good.
They are.
But I thought that this other plot with the brothers kind of took over the whole film.
It did.
And became tiresome
Yes.
after a while.
It did.
What does a kid, and then maybe those of us who are kids as adults, take away from this kind of a movie? And if it doesn't always have to be a moral, but I guess I'm kind of angling that way. What do you learn about life from something like this?
Well, I do feel like it was a family movie, so you take away the good feeling of family because, in the end, the brothers there was some cohesiveness there.
Yes.
But I think that, and I also enjoyed the youngest daughter, again, stole the show for parts of the movie, Agnes.
Agnes.
What's her
Agnes'
search for a unicorn. Yes, search for a unicorn. I thought that was really adorable. So again, I like the element of the girls and the family with Gru and with his wife now, Lucy.
Yeah.
So I guess an overall message, age? Oh, that's a tough one.
Well,
What
you
do
got
think?
it. No, I think you're spot on that one. And it's so many of these animations are related to the importance of family and getting back somewhere to family. And I have to agree that I think it has a salutary effect even on me. After so many times I see it, I still think for a young person watching this movie, there is a sense that family is maybe the most important thing in your life. And for Gru, who has been a successful villain and now is a successful father who has married a woman, a kick-butt woman,
Yes, she is.
Lucy, and voiced by Kristen Wiig. I think that we discover again that it is family. Now, it's for me, it takes away a bit of the edge of the film to be so family oriented.
I agree, because it's supposed to, Gru traditionally had been about villainry until not
Yes.
that long ago. So
Yeah. And so when he becomes a good guy, it's not as much fun as when he's a bad guy, and that's why when the two brothers get together, it's hilarious because Gru is back in his groove.
Yes.
Right. So in the end, we have a film, Despicable Me 3. And I sense that we're a little bit ambivalent. Could that be possible?
yes, I definitely feel it could have been better.
Right.
But it's still, I think, just a fun movie.
Look, I'm with you. We're talking summer.
Yes.
We're talking some pretty bad movies that come out in the summer.
Yes.
And this is by far not a bad movie.
No, it's not.
I wonder if we can reflect in our grade our feeling. Crystal Davis, the movie is Despicable Me 3. What grade would you award it?
I give it a B.
Oh, wonderful. I think I'm going to give it a B minus.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I'm still irritated that we don't have more Minions.
Yes, they were great. I mean, they did steal the show in the time that they put them in there. But again, the cohesiveness wasn't there. Like with the Minions into the whole plot, it was that was confusing to me.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think we're like Minions because we just go to these movies just because we're supposed to. I think we're really there's something about developing the independence that's also a theme here. Becoming your own person, identifying yourself, particularly for Gru. Who is he? Is he a villain? Is he a father? And so there are all these good things can be enjoyed by adults and kids.
Definitely.
Hey, it's summer.
Yeah.